There we go. Let me get my screen set up in the background. And no, I can't do it ahead of time. I'm sorry. It doesn't allow me to. Just give me a few moments. If you're watching this on the replay, you might want to fast forward to the first couple of minutes while we set up the chat on both the computer, on the desktop, and on the phone. Hey, Sandra Cosby. Let me just fix all messages on the phone so I can see the same messages that come across to the computer. You guys make sure you're setting your chat to live chat. And if you're in the comments, please swipe left into the actual chat. Hey, Kathy X50, or X50, I should say. Got notified, Hobble1 says. That's good. Hey, Leanne. Now let me get my computer to catch up with the actual chat on my phone. How you guys doing today? We're almost out of this Canada Dry zero sugar ginger ale. Everybody's good. Okay. Hey, Rita Close. Welcome in, my dear. One of my regulars. Yeah, this is going to be, we're going to talk about Nancy because it's day number 140. But I need to clear a few things up. Let's see, 15 people in the room. I'm just going to start it. I'm April Davis, PI. I'm a licensed California private investigator. This is day number 140 of the Nancy Guthrie kidnapping case. Sadly, we're 10 days away from being into the 5th month. Yeah, that's just, it's shocking to me. You know, I always clear things up if there's words that were misconstrued or I misspoke or I just flat out made a mistake. And it's hard when I have the iPad chat going, which I don't have today, the computer desktop or the desktop computer chat, and the phone. And I can only see this much of it. So it's hard for me at my age with my medical condition, with all these things happening. I have so much on my plate while I'm live to do math. And so when I mentioned that Charles Guthrie died in 77, no, he passed in 1988. And I was correct as far as I've said before, he passed in Sonora, Mexico while on a mining engineering job. That is true. He did pass in Sonora, Mexico. His body was brought back to Arizona. He is buried in Tucson at a local cemetery there, but it was 1988. He was 49 years old. So born in 38, happened in 88, obviously before his 50th birthday. So at age 49 in 1988, Charles Errol Guthrie, who would be Savannah's father or Nancy's husband, that's when he passed away. Also wanted to update you on this Facebook group that is very often posting inaccurate stories. This woman, this Terry Valco, whoever she is, and I think she might be the leader of that group, she put false information out on the internet that any PI could just willy-nilly cross over into another state to conduct business, to interview witnesses, to follow leads, to pursue tips. That is absolutely not true. Now, I may have misspoken when I said that during a hot pursuit, you should stop at state line, because certain states now do have the ability for, let's say I'm starting the investigation in California, I'm licensed in California, I'm in hot pursuit, and I have to cross into Arizona or Nevada, but during an active pursuit. Well, I can, but each state has its own set of laws as to how long I can stay there, and at what point I just need to pass it over. Like, law enforcement, they do that in high-speed pursuits. They pass it over from one agency to another. and that doesn't include the insurance implications or the civil implications. But what she said is that a PI, let's say, example, this Bill Garcia, who this wasn't about Bill Garcia, this was about what the laws are and how California has limited reciprocity with 5 states, and that is Oregon, which is the only state that borders us that has limited reciprocity, but Louisiana, Georgia, Florida, and since North Carolina. They tried to get it passed for Arizona. The former president of Cali was unable to get that law on the books. So the only way that a California PI could go to Arizona to investigate the Nancy Guthrie case, they would have to be licensed in Arizona, even if they were just doing the work like Bill is doing pro bono. Now, it's quite possible, since Bill does travel to multiple states to conduct investigations, that he may actually be licensed in those other states. I don't know. This isn't about this. This was about this woman who obviously is not a police officer or a private investigator to put false information on a Facebook page where probably thousands of people are following that. I'm following it, or I was until yesterday. I just went, no, I'm not going to. There's so much misinformation. So when she says that, she kept talking about this Bill Garcia, and I kept saying, this isn't about Bill Garcia. This is about the law. And we have limited reciprocity in California with these 5 states, and Arizona is not one of them. If he's not in a hot pursuit, he didn't start a pursuit of a suspect in California, and he just temporarily, with limited powers, cross over. But he just said, you know what? I'm going to get in my car and I'm going to drive down to Tucson, even though I'm not being retained by anybody and nobody's paying me. And I'm going to start being boots on the ground and knocking on the doors and following up tips and leads, and I'm going to investigate Nancy Guthrie, and he's not licensed, then he could potentially be criminally charged, civilly sued, and potentially lose his license in California. I'm not saying that he did this. I'm just saying that you must have the reciprocity agreement with the state that you're going to do that, and you have to have advance written permission. And then they tell you, well, this is what you can and cannot do. In states that we do not have reciprocity with, they're like, no, you have to get a license. Remember, I told you I used to work for a guy who was a registered California corporation, and he did a lot of work on the East Coast, including New York and New Jersey. Well, he had to get a license in New Jersey, uh, although be it a temporary license. And he also had to get a license in New York because we had a billionaire client who had 2 homes in New York, one in Manhattan and one on Long Island. And, they did a big celebrity wedding there that involved local law enforcement. Like, he had to get that license. And I kind of pushed him to doing that so he wouldn't lose his California license, and then all of us would have lost our PI jobs. So you have to be really careful. And then there's your E&O insurance. Would they allow you? Would they cover you in another state? There's also the tax implications because you don't have a business license to conduct business in that state or that county. That's opening up a whole new can of worms. So that's why I don't care what people do. And they go, oh, all PIs do it. Well, not this PI. And Arizona does not have reciprocity with California. So a California licensed PI, unless they're licensed in Arizona or whatever state that they choose to go do that investigation in, they're going to get themselves in trouble. So I have stopped following that Facebook page. So I just needed to clear that up. This lady, she's going to die on the cross that she knows it all because she's on Facebook. And what was really funny is when I put the posting out yesterday on CALI, which stands for the California Association of Licensed Investigators, which I am a member of, and I put that question out there just to make sure that there had been no changes. Because, I've had a lot on my plate medically. Things have changed during, the last 7 years that I've been fighting for my life. Well, actually longer than that, because I got sick a couple years in advance and they couldn't find out what was wrong with me. Uh, just to make sure things didn't change, I had about 10 different PIs that wrote me back. And the first one, he included Arizona. And I knew that wasn't true because I talked to the former vice president of Cali and he said, no, 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 not Arizona. They tried it, but they never could come to an agreement between the two states. Arizona is not included in that. And I wrote the guy back and I'm like, oh, where did you get Arizona? I hadn't heard about that, And then he wrote back and he goes, well, I can't be sure because I just read it on the internet. And I'm thinking, oh boy. And I'm going to write him later on and say, thank you, but just make sure that you take Arizona off this list, dude. He's probably a retired cop, which is just that. He's retired. He probably doesn't know his laws. Things do change, though. When I first got my license, there was no following anybody in a hot pursuit over state line. When I got my license in the mail, we had to sign for what was called the PI Act and sign a piece of paper to say that we got it, we read it, and send it back to the state. Oh boy, I got to go to the chat because I got to take some people out. The bigger you get, the more people that come in, the more knuckleheads that you're going to get, but I can't complain. Let me go back. Let's see who's coming. Hey, Brian Ray, Kathy Doherty, my friend. Leanna Rayner says doing well. It's a beautiful day in Virginia. Let's see. Kathy Mowery, welcome in. God, we got all the Kathys. Kathy Doherty, Kathy Mowery, and Kathy X50 or O. Margaret, Rose Margaret, hello. We're not going to talk about religion today. So timeout. It says deleted. I wasn't trying to delete your message, dude. I was just trying to put you in a temporary 24-hour timeout. Still says that the message is deleted. Come on, YouTube. Let's get it going. Miss Pittsburgh, welcome in. I just had to handle a few admin things right now. I have to be my own moderator. Jay, hello, welcome in. Hey, V-Miss. Okay, I think I'm caught up. Now, I also want to, oh, thank you. The first flow state, the first jewel of the day. And I'll have to see it on the desktop to see who sent that because it covers the whole screen. Casey's Fantastic Voyages. Thank you. Oh, also, I can't remember who said it, but somebody wrote me a message yesterday on one of my videos saying that they hope that I find my mother. Nancy Guthrie is not my mother. Nancy Guthrie is Savannah Cameron, and Annie's mother. She is not my mother. It would be nice if she had been my mom. Nothing against my mom, or she was my aunt, or but no, I am not related to the Guthries. Cheryl Kushner, welcome in. Just wanted to clear that up. Also, a new viewer, and I will just read her first name here, Barbara Ann. She wanted to send me some gifts, and if you've noticed, I have a new pair of readers. Yes, thank you. In fact, I got a 4-pack from Barbara Ann. She was also apparently trying to order the Diet Ginger Beer. She said Amazon was out, which was correct because I tried to order it through Amazon because my grocery store doesn't carry it anymore. And she ended up sending me a message that she was ordering it through Walmart, but they claimed that I had an invalid address, which is not true. So she confirmed the address and then sent me a message saying it was taken care of and go to my box. And I did, and there was no box from Walmart there. So maybe she just, canceled the order. I'm not sure. But the lady that sent me the glasses, thank you so much because I need that so bad. It's the little things on the list that I really need. I ended up getting a bottle of Tide. Thank you. Oh my God. I have so much like heavy laundry to catch up on, like bedding and sleeping bags and rugs. And thank you so much. I will update the list tonight now that this is the second bottle I've received since I started the list. So I'm good on laundry soap for now, but that is wonderful. And I don't want to miss this person. Let's see. There's one more gift that's out here. Where is it? Where's the card? Well, that's not good. Okay, I have the receipt for the Tide, and I have the receipt for the readers, and they also send you a QR code. I'm not sure why that is. I have the receipt for the pickup fees. Oh, here it is. The AC must have blown it onto the floor. I also got a gift, a physical gift card. Oh, here it is. Here's the message. I have like, oh my God, who sent this? I want to thank Poppy's Place for the $25 DoorDash card. I have not done my shopping all week except for that Monday one bag of groceries on the way back from the cardiologist. I've been too busy with laundry, YouTube, the pharmacy, the mailbox store. So, and I've eaten everything in the freezer except for frozen strawberries and blueberries. So this is going to come in handy tonight. And then tomorrow I'll place a small, like a grocery pickup order that's local to me. But this came in the nick of time. And they did close the store early yesterday due to June 19th. Yeah, so thank you so much. Respect Importance, welcome in, just sent me a gold coin. And Respect Importance has sent me a star. That is so nice of her. Mostly Dolls Helicopters. And I also just got the 100 jewels. Thank you. Jay said she just ate a strawberry shortcake. Oh, that sounds so good. Respect Importance sent a makeup brush. Thank you so much. I'm telling you, those penny jewels, they do add up. Also, thank you to all the new members. According to YouTube, I still need just one more paid member to get the ability to throw out another customized emoji to the members. Kathy, if you would like to, you don't have to, but if you would like to type the custom emojis into the chat, since you have been a long time member and you have also gifted out more members than I think any other person here. If you want to type those into the chat, feel free to do so. Anybody who's a member, feel free. If you've got the star after your username, that makes you a member. Yeah, B Miss, I think you got a gifted membership, so you should be able to do it as well. You should be able to use those custom emojis. Now, back to why we are here. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Kathy. We got the detective, the rabbit, the cat, the happy emoji, the movie camera, the YouTube where I still can't see the U part, the baseball, the palm tree, and the flag smiling emoji. That's just for July 4th. Tavern, I'll just tell you once, we're not going to talk religion today. So I'm just giving you a preemptive warning here. Oh, those look so good on screen except for the YouTube one. I'll still have to fix that. I did make emoji number 10. And I made a little like a jack-o'-lantern because, between now and October, the time will just go. At least I hope so, since I will have so many medical things to handle this summer. I just want it just to be done. Time is spinning out of control the older you get. Nancy, as far as Nancy, all the stories that are supposedly news stories are stories we've already covered, especially Jennifer Koffendorfer asking why the FBI hasn't sent a blown up picture of Front Porch Guy. Why haven't they released any other videos? Hey, Vanessa from Ireland. Thank you. I'm part Irish. Welcome in. Who else is coming in from international today? Overseas. So yeah, that story's being rehashed. The graves in Mexico, apparently that group has found like 25 unmarked graves in that area of other missing people, or just, I don't know if they're missing, but graves that are in spots they're not supposed to be. but none of them have turned out to be Nancy. Hey, I got the party hat. Hey, thank you, respect. Thank you so much. That's a new one. I hadn't seen that until you sent that, or someone sent that yesterday to me. I guess YouTube, they also update the jewels. They change them every now and then, or they add some or take some away. Did they just find a glove at Nancy's house? Not that I know of. Oh, you can see all of the YouTube one, maybe because I'm on the green screen. I'm glad you can see it, Kathy, because I can't see the U part. I can just see the tube part. Oh, you did send it to me yesterday. I thought so. Hey, Unchained Melody, welcome in. So yeah, all they're talking about is, Jennifer Coffendorfer's latest statement and her ex account. We've already talked about all that. And usually I don't agree with her, but I do agree with her that they should release anything they have, since obviously they don't have anybody yet. Now it's possible. Oh, thank you for the sparkles. It's possible they have somebody in mind and they're just waiting for additional evidence. I hope it's a case like that. As I've said before, I hope this investigation doesn't hedge on a single rootless hair that went to the wrong lab. Not that they're not a good lab, but they don't have the capability to extract DNA from a rootless hair. That DNA sample or the hair should have gone to Quantico to begin with. And then Quantico may have subsequently sent it to another lab, possibly the same lab in San Francisco. And they used that lab for some other infamous, true crime cases. Because I don't necessarily think that that's going to hit. There's been a lot of people in that house, between her family and, people that are probably doing repairs and housekeepers. And, I'm sure the landscapers and the pool people, the pool cleaners stay outside, but, hair can transfer so easily. Supposedly they found this hair in her bedroom, but they also said it was a mixed sample. So what is it mixed with? I don't even kind of want to go there. If they found it in her bed, but that sample, and that's just a rumor that they found it in her bed and that they cut a piece of either her sheet or her bedspread to take that too. What else did they find? Did something else go on in that house that we don't know about? It's just me, Chell. Well, the only other Chell I know is the famous YouTuber Corey Williams has a little daughter named Chell. It's just me, Chell. Is it Chell or Shell? Because she pronounces hers Chell, but some people pronounce Shell like Michelle. So is it like Michelle or is it like Chell Williams? Just curious. It's Shell. Okay. It's just me, Shell. Okay. Well, thanks for clearing that up, because I hate to mispronounce names. Just like I was so mad when I got off my live yesterday and I looked up. Well, actually, I was listening back to uh, my broadcast, my live stream, and I was like, did I just say 1977? Oh, thank you for the 100. It's just me, Shell. Thank you for the jewels. Uh, my sister-in-law is called Shell, but spelled Shelly. Okay. Uh, yeah, like, I don't know. Like, there's just not new stuff coming out. And I do agree with Jennifer Hoffendorfer on this one, that maybe they should release a closer picture, because maybe somebody would want that $1.2 million reward. And on the billboards, they have Nancy's picture, but they don't have Front Porch Guy's picture. But, that's going to be hard to see while you're driving along a highway at 60 or 70 miles an hour and the guy's wearing a mask and you're trying to, drive and look up at that. But, maybe they could like highlight it or show something and put that on the billboards too. But apparently they don't. Uh, Respect Importance says sheets. What did I miss? Are you talking about the bedding that they took from Nancy's bedroom? I love your hat. Where'd you get it, honey? If you don't mind me asking. Oh, it was actually gifted to me by someone in the entertainment industry that lives in the Hollywood Hills. The Miss 5. There was a man who they have never seen before at Nancy's today. Maybe someone who's working at the house. And though, I've been getting a lot of emails, and my email is aprildavispi@gmail.com. If you do send to any other business emails or different emails that you think are me, I will not read those and you will get blocked. So make sure that you see on my main page or you hear me say it here. It's aprildavispi@gmail. I cannot respond to everybody, but somebody said that, and I don't know if this is true because it's not been confirmed, but someone, I don't even remember who it was, I'll have to read further tonight when I have time, when I'm not on the air, that they heard that Annie and Tommaso, that they're hiding out in Italy. I don't know where they heard that. I don't know if it's true. But I just wanted to mention that here, that someone sent me an email saying that Annie and Tommaso, per their sources, wherever they heard it, probably on the internet, don't know if it's confirmed, that they are hiding out in Italy. So don't, put that out on the internet and said, hey, I was watching April Davis PI and she said that Annie and Tommaso are in Italy. Can I speak? In Italy. I have no idea, but somebody sent me an email saying that they heard, probably on another YouTube channel. I'll have to reread the email. I didn't have time to open up any clips or watch, hours and hours of video, but someone told me that they are in Italy. Yes, it was a correction to a comment I made about it being scary and odd that they would find hair in the bed and cut part of the sheets to send out to test. Yeah, I thought that was odd too. Like, I mean, I wasn't there when it happened, so if I didn't see it, did it happen? Did it not happen? What have I missed? Okay, I missed that. I missed a comment. Open mind, welcome in. After 120 plus days, people are starting to think the FBI warrant served on Luke Daly might have been them trying to frame him. Don't know, because you know what? We have not seen the warrant for the raid on his mother's house. We have not. Nobody has been shown a copy of that, and apparently they haven't seen it either, which I find that kind of odd. That is apparently still sealed. I've heard that too, that they were in a hotel. No, I do not, but we're not going to talk political things today. Tommaso is still free, as far as I know. Annie also free, as far as I know. George asked me. It's just me, Shell. Yes, Tommaso and Annie are free. Why wouldn't they be? Exactly. When Nanos has watched the case from day one. We don't know that they're involved. We don't know who's involved. Now, I have my ideas on who I believe Front Porch Guy could be, but remember, I have to remind everybody, even though I'm a licensed PI, I've been in the PI business since '84 as a trainee. I got licensed June 6, 1992. I started my business in the last quarter of 95, but didn't really get it going till around like maybe 1998, at which time I had to secure my city business license as well. But, and then 7 years, still licensed, but extremely part-time while I've been fighting for my life here. And I'm telling you that I'm only reporting on this case. I'm sorry, I got distracted by the chat. I'm not investigating this case. And if I were to investigate this case, I couldn't just get in my car, as it's being reported that some PIs have done so, and drive to Arizona and start interviewing witnesses and knocking on doors about Nancy Guthrie when I am not licensed in Arizona. I was licensed years ago just because one of my contractors said, hey, a lot of PIs are getting, licenses in nearby states. Maybe you could get Arizona and Nevada. And I was like, yeah, that's a good idea. And Nevada, I guess it's a longer process than Arizona. Arizona was pretty easy since I'd been licensed so long in California. But I think I might have only renewed it once. And I thought, this is just a waste of money. When do I ever have time to go to Arizona? I've been there once my whole PI career, and that was for a seminar in Phoenix, and it was not for an investigation. So, let's see. Exactly. Thank you for saying that. Sub to your channel. George says you are adorable. I'm glad you think so. Most people come on here and tell me that I have a case of the uglies. And, compared to what I used to look like before cancer, I do. um, so, just seen a video from the Cajun Navy stating that Nanos indeed declined their free help. Yeah, I heard that they applied a second time, but I guess that's been turned down as well. And I think that's stupid. I know the group that's looking for the grave now in Sonora, Mexico, across from the Port of Nogales. They tried to, or did come into Tucson, and they were denied. And then it was either a Saturday or Sunday morning. Some local, like neighbors got together and they started walking around the neighborhood. But they were warned by Nanos, don't cross on private property and don't touch anything and don't do this and don't do that. As far as I know, they've never even put out cadaver dogs in the area. And if she is, still local, every day that goes by, the chances of those dogs hitting on a scent or a group like the Cajun Navy being able to find her are slimmer and slimmer. Apparently, they were only looking for her on the second day and then they stopped. Now, did they know something by the second day? And that's why they stopped looking and they didn't spend the resources? Don't know, but it would be hard to do now with the weather. I like that April isn't accusing people like others are. Well, as a PI for 42 years and licensed since 92, I would be really stupid if I came out on a YouTube channel and I publicly stated that, this is who I think Front Porch Guy is. And if it's not him, because sometimes I still get a little doubt. And then there's other things that come up and I'm like, I know this guy is involved. But he may not be Front Porch Guy. But if he's not, he's definitely involved in this. Because I can link some of the statements that he has publicly stated to some of the same similar statements that were sent in some of these so-called fake ransom notes. And there's a lot of other things too. And now I know the second person that I think is the getaway driver, but are they working as a group, just the two of them? Or are they were they hired by somebody? I don't know that yet. So I know there's at least a group of two, but my guess is that it's a bigger operation than just the two of them. But you could never convince me that this is just one random lone wolf person. You just couldn't because of that neighborhood. The fact that we've had a new friend come into my channel who lives in that neighborhood who actually knows Savannah Guthrie. And she said, April, it's pitch dark. It's a maze. It's if you don't know exactly where you're going, you'll get on a dead end cul-de-sac and not be able to find your way out. Even DeJuice said with, I guess his girlfriend would drop him off in the neighborhood. He said, even with GPS, it's very hard to get in and out. So whoever did this had to have intimate knowledge of not only that neighborhood, but that house, the cameras, the security, the lack thereof, the doorbell cams, the lack of the subscription, and all the things that we've talked about, medical alerts, panic buttons, the potential for cameras to be inside the house that are monitoring Nancy from a remote location just because she was 84 years old and her family might have been watching. Somebody would have to have intimate knowledge. And I'll die on the cross on that. And I don't think it's a case of mistaken identity. Somebody accidentally went to the wrong house. I just don't believe that. Tinky, never seen you before. I think Nanos bought himself a flashy car with the search budget. I don't know. He doesn't want ground search to be done for some reason. Yeah, that's true. He doesn't. From the very beginning. And I'm not sure why that is. Pat, welcome in. The pain Savannah and her family must be going through not getting any closure. Hard for me to even contemplate. Exactly. And so many people are coming down on Savannah because she had to go back to work, And NBC did give her, they said we're going to give you as much time as you need. But she couldn't just sit out there with Annie Tommaso, and they were moving from location to location because of security issues. Like, she couldn't just sit out there forever when eventually her kids, I mean, for a while, I think Michael Feldman dropped them off with his family in Florida. But then, some point they got to go back to school. So he's back in New York with them. And, the kids are like, Mama, she couldn't sit there forever. And I don't fault her for continuing with work that she's already contractually obligated to do. Many people are ragging on her that she's going to do Wordle. Well, she's contractually obligated to do so. But Jimmy Fallon did say, we're going to put it all on hold and we're going to give you as much time as you need. Oh, and that's, I like that. Oh, facts, Kathy, he's hiding something. Could be. I agree, Pat, they definitely need closure. Kathy says she thinks 3 to 5. That's the numbers that I've had in my mind from day one, but it could end up just being 2. But I kind of sway towards that number as well, Kathy. I don't know why Savannah didn't get herself a PI on this. Well, we don't know that she didn't. We just know all the false stories about that she's got 6 and these are their backgrounds and this is what they're doing. Here's their names, ranks, and serial numbers. No, that's not true at all. If she did, that would be completely private. And the PIs doing it would not be able to discuss it. And no, you cannot, let me just reemphasize to this wackadoodle who's on Facebook under a page that's called Nancy Guthrie Updates. I think that's what it is. I don't know. I don't follow them anymore. I unfollowed them because she's putting out information, PIs versus law enforcement. And PIs, we have things that we can do that law enforcement can, and we can just willy-nilly just go to another state and initiate an investigation. And I can't even do that. And I've even had a license in Arizona in the past. I could not get in my car in California or get on an airplane and go to Tucson and start hitting doors. Now, if I wanted to go just as April Davis and I wanted to set up with the other YouTubers in the designated area under the tent, and I wanted to report this to my audience as a reporter, like I'm doing now, yes, I'm a private investigator, but I am not working this case. I would legally be able to go to Tucson to report to you. I'd have to be 20 years younger, and I'd have to make it very clear that I'm not investigating. And I'm making it clear now. I am not investigating this case. I am not working for Savannah. I don't know Savannah. Okay. I know a couple people that either know her now or knew her then, but I have no connection to the Guthrie family. I am not investigating this case. So I don't have access to any more than what all of you that are watching me have access to. But I have the experience, especially as being a Hollywood PI, in dealing with situations extremely similar to this to know how to handle it. And let me tell you, this case was screwed from the first 20 hours. Facebook has so many crazy groups about Nancy. It's insane. Yes. And I haven't found a legitimate one yet. Brian Anton found out that Savannah didn't hire one. I saw that video. And he's got more followers than I do. Although I did have somebody that wrote me in the middle of the night that said they had just found me through one of Brian Enton's videos. And I think they meant what other people told me, that they saw me in some comments on some Brian Enton videos, because as far as I know, Brian Enton has never made a video talking about me. He wouldn't even know who I am. Okay, Psychic Writer, welcome in. Where are you coming in from? Hi, April. Hi, chat. After checking out your channel, I like it so far and have subbed up, and I'm thinking 2 to 3 perps. That's a good number. Make sure, Psychic Writer, that you are watching my playlist. You go to the main page. You see all my links. You see all my playlists. You watch. I do have, videos on this besides lives, and I do have some short highlights. And those are made by YouTube, the highlight ones. They're just highlights of my lives. Kathy says, I believe they are not the smartest criminals and needed help. Yes. They may be hiding because they mess things up and may be in danger. Yes. I've said this from the very, very beginning. Watch the movie Fargo. It's just a Hollywood movie. It won multiple Oscars, and not just for the acting. Things like that happen. You are not a criminal and you hire a criminal to go handle a job for you, things can go wrong. Number one example of that. People are going to argue with me here, so we're not going to go into the detail. But the perfect example of what was supposed to be a kidnapping that went wrong and ended up being a homicide is the JonBenet Ramsey case. I will not go into any detail of that because that's still an active, open case that has not been solved. It'll be 30 years this December 25th and 26th. I guarantee you, things went wrong. And you know what? It can end up being a lot like the Elizabeth Smart case, where either the kidnapper or the ringmaster could be someone that the mother brought into the house and didn't vet them properly. Just saying. Open mind, welcome in. I typically have been just watching Jen Coffendorfer and Chris McDonough. I haven't seen him. I know who he is, but I haven't been watching him to see who has the better info in the case when it's all said and done. Jen Coffendorfer, sometimes I agree with her, sometimes I don't. The last article that she put out and the X statement she put out on, X, formerly Twitter, I do agree with that. Like, it's time to crap or get off the pot. You put some highlighted video out there. I know from the FBI agent that I consulted with, who's not working in this case in any way, that thank you for the star, that they know more than what they're telling us, and they definitely probably have more video from that Ring doorbell than what we've been shown. Cashing in on the Guthrie. Nope, not me. I'm actually, I've spent money on this case. Yeah. So, Clint, I'm going to have to put you in a 24-hour timeout, but you're welcome to come back tomorrow. Because you know what? I could use the clicks. I don't see it on my phone screen because I'm not there yet, but I see it on my computer screen. And let me heart that. Lori Smith coming in for the first super chat of the day for $2. Thank you, Lori. Everybody go give her a thumbs up. I'm not going to thumbs up it because I did that the other day on Susan M's, and you know what happened? I still have never heard back from the other department that YouTube has sent me to, from Google. They sent me to Google. Google's never written me back. So at some point, I'm just going to have to wave the white flag and throw in the towel on that. Weird Wig, you missed me covering the gifts. And I have to tell you, Weird Wig, let me just take a moment. I was surprised as heck to get this. I love it. Thank you. I thought, that's an awfully big and heavy box for a 4-pack case of Diet Ginger Beer. And no, there wasn't anything from Walmart. So I just want to make sure that you didn't send anything from Walmart. There was just this from Amazon and the glasses, which I'm wearing right now. So you have to rewatch the beginning of this video, but I did thank you tremendously. And here's the other 3 glasses. The hardest decision was which one to wear today. So thank you. Thank you, Weird Wig. Don, welcome in. It's just Michelle. I know I absolutely love him. Has definitely been on top of things with a lot of cases. Who did I miss? I was probably taking somebody out. Dawn says, Kathy, I think they are scared because they know the authorities are onto them and in hiding. There's somebody that I know involved in this case that is definitely hiding. And I'm not going to say who it is. And they're hiding in a country that it might be a bit tricky for extradition. but I'm not naming any names. Um, oh no, Star Brown Power, thank you for the clicks, but I'm putting you in a timeout as well. Go join the friends that are in timeout today. Um, I assume that that person has not gone through stage 3, grade 3 cancer with heart failure. Just saying. Um, you're in central New York. Okay, psychic writer, thanks for letting me know. That's more New Yorkers coming in. Where's my friend Sassy Granny from New York? I haven't seen her today. Who's on now? Yes, Don, he's on now. Or he's on so many now. Who are we talking about? Missed it. Yes! Yes! Whaley, awesome! This case has always reminded me of Fargo. Yes! I'm glad somebody else sees the comparisons and the similarities. Boy, can things go wrong. If this was intended as a kidnapping for ransom, because remember, the first couple days, they were investigating this case simply as a missing senior. Even though there was blood found at the scene, and they thought, the deputies thought maybe we should call the homicide detectives. But the sheriff's department as a whole, including Nanos, and he's the man in charge, was still investigating this case, which is very high profile, and he would be under the microscope, not just nationally, but internationally, was still treating this as someone who may have walked away, a missing senior. And that wasn't the case. And things weren't done properly. And the crime scene was compromised. But it's very possible that somebody hired these yahoos and they weren't the brightest bulbs in the bunch. And they didn't take her meds, and she sadly passed away rather quickly. And now they're stuck with a body and they have no proof of life to be able to cash in on their crime. Then certain people started acting really sketch. April was very good at keeping theories to the best of her ability, very professional. Yes, but you're right, Kathy, they're just theories because I'm not investigating the case. That's so weird. Somebody just sent me a super chat and it didn't count. Well, I mean, I got it, but oh, I know. Oh gosh. The gold must have expired before that was sent. Like, what? Because I'm like, why is it not there? Because I've got it set at the minimum for all colors. Okay, let me reset that because it keeps flashing at me. Cali Girl on Fire says she's allergic to Tide. This is a good thing I'm not allergic to Tide because I have, Sassy Granny sent me one and now I've got another 80 ounces. So I'm good for a long time. I'll have to update that tonight on the list. Hopefully it's like there's no more in stock that I need for now. I need to add rabbit hay to that list because my rabbit, she's the best hay eater of any bunny I've ever owned. She's a weird bunny, but she eats her hay like she's supposed to. And I'm always like, oh my God, I'm almost out of hay. So I think I may substitute the Tide for rabbit hay. That would help a lot. um, Gain is okay. Yeah, I like Gain too, Dawn. My mom used to use that when I was a kid. So I'm kind of sentimental about Gain. Uh, let's see. What have I missed here? April wanted Tide and April get what she wants. Thank you, Weird Way. And just confirm that you did not send anything from Walmart because I asked them that. I said, am I missing a box? Is there like a third box here? Because I got 2 packages today. And he goes, "No, this is it." And I was like, "Wow, this is really heavy for the Diet Ginger Beer." And it was the Tide, and I was so excited when I got home and I opened that because there was a box within a box, and then there was a smaller little white box that had the reading glasses, and they were in perfect condition because everything was boxed separately, but it was in a big, giant, heavy box. And I'm like, "This is really heavy for a Diet Ginger Beer," because they only come in 4 packs. And I could hear, like, liquid sloshing around, but it was the Tide, so I really was surprised because, uh, Amazon did not send me the notice saying that that had been purchased off my wish list. So, I don't know where that message went because 'cause they'll tell me when something was purchased, and I can go to the store and see what was purchased and by who, but I can't see when it's coming. So, it's just me, Shell, coming in for the super chat. It's not letting me heart it. Heart it. There we go. Everybody give Michelle a like on that super chat. Yeah, I love this tie. Um, and this will last me a while because these are big bottles. When I put that on the list, I thought they were like like the small bottles. And so I take a little bit out and I pour it into a smaller bottle so that it's easier for me to carry to the back of the building where the laundry room is. Uh, Shavings, I used that with my last bunny, and my bunny developed cancer and died. But he was old, almost well, he was 11. Yeah, so the shavings, absolutely not. Um, my last bunny developed a sore hawk that turned into skin cancer from shavings. So I only use the paper, and it's not like chemically treated or anything, and it's not scented. Um, They wouldn't confirm the address. That is so weird. Okay, so I just wanna make sure thank you for answering that, Weird Wig, that I wasn't missing a package, and I am very, very happy, with the Tide and the glasses. Yeah, I know, but he was very, very old, because he was a dwarf, and they don't live very long, and he lived to be 11, and, that was like, compared to a human, like, over 100 years old, but he did develop the cancer, we think, from the shavings. And, you know, he had to have a surgery and it was just awful. It's a horrible horrible memory and I'll never there's certain things you never get over and I'll never get over that, including all my kitties that have gone too. And I know it's not my fault, but still. So, yeah, if anybody if you have a bunny, make sure that you don't use shavings for litter. Super toxic. Same thing with the guinea pigs and hamsters. I know that's a side note from Nancy, but there's no new news today. There's just the same stories being rehashed about the grave sites in Mexico that don't include Nancy thus far. And I still personally believe that she was not taken across the border, but she could have been. Because one of the viewers even pointed out here that there are many different entryways into Mexico, but it is a lot harder, um, especially with our current administration. Um, I have a hard time believing that. I wouldn't be completely surprised if someday, somebody found something in Mexico, but I'm leaning towards more that she's probably in Arizona. Um, Pellets, some pellets are safe for litter, Kathy. Um, uh-oh. Got a knucklehead. Time out. Goodbye. Uh, Weirdwig says, "I agree with you. She isn't there." You meaning Mexico? They weren't wanting to hang on to her. I wouldn't drive her across Mexico even if she was still alive. She's been kidnapped. And someone on that weird Facebook page, I don't know if it was the weird one that I talked about yesterday and today, but someone on a Facebook page showed the video of the lady screaming in, like, was it a Chevy Nova or Chevy Malibu, something like that? That's already been figured out months ago that that was a domestic situation between a man and a woman, and they've already identified who those people are. That has nothing to do with Nancy Guthrie. But see, that's just old information. It's like with MH370, it's been 12 years. So they just rehash the same garbage over and over and over again. Like today, I've heard 3 times about the Jennifer Coffindoffer story that we talked about a day or 2 ago. That's old news. She thinks the FBI should be releasing more. At this point, it couldn't hurt, especially with a $1.2 million reward on the table, unless they know something that they're not telling us all. But they've been acting like that since day 2. Like they've already got this, they already know what's happened and why. Well, how come she hasn't been found? How come nobody's been arrested? How come the arrest warrants, or not the arrest warrant, because there's never been an arrest warrant except for Derek Kalella, and that's a federal situation. That's a totally different situation. It's connected to the case, but it's not an arrest for the kidnapping. How come the search warrants on this case are still sealed? Why did, and I've asked this from day one that this happened on February the 13th. Why did they target Luke Daly? I'd like to know. Were they looking at him specifically, or were they looking at the car? And if they were looking at the car, why didn't they take the wrecked Dodge that was in the driveway? And they never took that. That was towed by the insurance company days later. I know why they were after Carlos. I understand that. But, they were just too quick to try to jump on somebody. I understand. I think how they connected him mistakenly. You could never convince me that he's involved. If they arrested him, I wouldn't believe it that he's involved. He's just poor Carlos, the DoorDash guy. I hope he's got his phone back by now. Oh, I just heard my LaMetric clock go ding ding. Let me see where we are at. It dings for every 10 now. We're at, where are we at? Come on. 3451. I need to get to 4,000, everybody. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button. Send me the red hearts across the screen. Let's see. Oh, I didn't see Joelle's come in. Welcome in, Joelle. Jalik Rainwalker is a 12-year-old biracial boy who vanished from Greenwich, New York on November 1st, 2007. Adopted as a child, he was last seen by his adoptive father. Have you heard of this case? No, I haven't. A lot of people come in here and ask me about cases, and sometimes I have, and sometimes I haven't. Angel, I'll just tell you right now, we're not talking religion or politics today. So as long you can be in here as long as you want, if you just stop talking about that. Oh, good night, Rose Margaret. Thank you for coming. Weirdwick says she's heard of it. Yeah, I have not heard of that case. I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't know that case. I'm sorry. That's sad. What did I miss? Psychic writer. I think she lied and tried to frame him for Nancy's abduction. Who lied? Are we talking about? I've got a person in mind here, but I'm not going to say the name because I'm not implicating anybody. But who are we talking about? I think she lied and tried to frame him for Nancy's abduction, trying to get herself a sweet deal. I know exactly who you're talking about now. Okay, ding ding. YouTube is hard. I watched my replays and I'm like, did I just say that word? Yesterday I said that Charles Guthrie died in 1977. He did not. He died in 1988. I couldn't, and math was always my best subject. But when I had the iPad going, the desktop going, the screen going, and having to take people out, I said, oh, he died in 77. No, it was 1988. at age of 49 in Sonora, Mexico, which is kind of weird because that's where that group down in just across the border from the Port of Nogales is looking for a grave right now in Sonora, Mexico, because that is the closest crossing to Tucson. But coincidentally, that's where Charles Guthrie died while on a assignment. I know exactly who you're talking about, psychic writer. And it's very possible because, I mean, the timing of, that person being brought in and then they went after, Luke and Luke's mom's house. Very possible. But he did come across very nervous in his interview with, I can't think of the reporter. What is her name? The local Tucson news reporter that's done a couple of interviews. She interviewed Luke Daly. She interviewed Mary Daly. But, I would be nervous too if somebody was like suspecting me of this hideous crime. But I am not saying that he is or he isn't involved. But now I understand who you're referring to, psychic writer. And she, by the way, is still in the slammer as far as I know. And his trial for that same offense is coming up in August, unless it's been pushed back. So he could quite possibly be getting some time soon for something else. We'll see how that works out. I hope they find him and lay him to rest or save him. Oh, you mean the missing 7-year-old? I feel like his adopted father had something to do with it. There's possibly breaking news coming to that case. Oh, well, I hope that they have answers. Who was taking Nancy's money did it? David Burke says. I heard this really crazy story yesterday that just before her death, she was trying to buy some $1 million ranch or something in Mexico. It's just like, where do people come up with this? I've never heard of that one before. Not that it isn't true, but at her age, I kind of doubt it. And then there was another story that was floating around that Annie had asked her for $1 million. I don't even know if Nancy has $1 million. Um, it's just crazy what you read on the internet. Just like a lady on Facebook is still arguing with me, saying that she's right, that us PIs, we can just willy-nilly go into any other state without a license and without a reciprocity signed agreement. Oh my God. Now, I could have been mistaken about the hot pursuit rule, and I own up to that because when I got my PI license, the hot pursuit rule did not apply. But some states are more lenient if you're in a hot pursuit, but you have to be very careful what you're doing and how long you stay and who you turn it over to and blah, blah, blah. And then there's still civil implications, insurance implications, business tax implications. So I don't care if every PI on the planet does it, this PI doesn't do it. And a PI from California cannot just go to Arizona, whether it's by car, planes, trains, or automobiles, and initiate an investigation looking for Nancy Guthrie without a license in Arizona to do so. So don't put misinformation out there. But, TV shows and the movies, they do it all the time. We're all sporting a porn stash driving a red Ferrari. And we're following the cheating spouses. That's not how I've made my living. And when you say, well, I do a lot of criminal, civil, and entertainment, they're like, what does that mean? Entertainment? I can't. That's like when I would go to a party and there's not people in my inner circle, because I have always kept friends that are, most of my friends are in the entertainment industry or they're in completely other industries. And I always tell my friends, like, don't tell people I'm a PI because then everybody wants to tell me their stories and they think I'm Magnum PI, even though I'm a girl. Where's my Ferrari? How many people have I shot? Where have I been shot? How many times have I been shot? Let me see your gun. I'm in LA County, can't carry. Now I carry on private property with the proper permits on private property, but It's just, oh my God. Um, we chat, and now we are back to the case again. As per usual, April, this is why everyone loves you. Thank you. Oh, you use the emojis. I gotta get more members in here, Kathy. And no, it doesn't help as much as the super chats, and I cleared that misstatement up yesterday. And I know you were just trying to help, but yeah, the members help. Even watching the shorts, which are not even worth a penny, it helps. But right now, the channel is being held up on the shoulders of the super chats. Um, yeah, and if I do misspeak, I clear it up. So watch the beginning of this video. Uh, I do not spread misinformation, and I did put a pinned comment in the comment section yesterday. Welcome to level 1. Now let me tell you, that is an important membership game. And let me tell you why. Because YouTube has instructed me that if I got just one more paid member, that I would be able to add a 10th emoji. And so everybody, when you come in next time I do a live, you will see that there is a 10th customized emoji that you can add. And Respect, that also gives you the ability to once a month, when you go over to wherever your super chat button is and you click it as a member. See, mine just says super chat membership or membership gifting, which I have no more left to gift. For all those that are asking for free memberships, I don't have any more to give, and I can't choose who I gift. You will be able to put something up in the chat that acknowledges that you are a member, and then you can comment within that box. It's just me, Shell. Oh my God. Oh, welcome to level 1. And if you look at my page, you go to the membership tab on the main channel page, it'll tell you what you get for level 1, what you get for level 2. Level 3 is still to be determined because you get all the levels, you get all the things that you got before, but level 2 gives you an extra thing. Because I had too many people trying to hit up my social media. So you have to be a level 2 to hit that up now. That's separate from YouTube. And then level 3, I'm like, well, I got to add one more thing. What am I going to add? Because I only have one level 3. I'm not going to make a special video just for the one level 3 member that I have. Thank you for using the emojis. And there's myself, and there's little Kelsa kitty. Respect importance. Put them all up there. Thank you so much. See, these are not the YouTube emojis. These are the special emojis that are custom made by my channel. And trust me, I'm not an artist. And I don't know what a 1-to-1 ratio is. I kind of do now, but it's not, I'm not a creative person. So me figuring out these emojis and how to get them properly sized so that they can be used for this purpose has not been an easy task. It's been me pulling my hair out. But, after today, when I go on there tonight, and then it has to be approved by YouTube, you guys may have the ability to put up an early jack-o'-lantern. Just saying. But thank you. Thank you so much. It's just me, Shell, and Respect importance. I appreciate that. It all helps. Even these penny jewels. It's terrific. Thank you so much. I'd have to be a lot bigger than that. Pretty soon you will be able to do members only live streams. Most of the members that are there this month are the free ones that I've given out. um, can you imagine if I got that big and I had to make the time for that? Then I'd have to do like a special video like once a week and just, put it out for members only. But can you imagine that it could actually get that big, Kathy, that's something I have to add to my plate? But I would be happy to do that. But I'd have to have, most of these people would have to be paid. Most of them I gift them, or you guys gift them, And you guys have to pay for that when you gift them. And then those people, for the most part, they don't renew. But I did read somewhere that my problem with the membership is that I wasn't mentioning it in every video, and that when you go live, you do have to mention it at least once. Tucson, that is Tucson in the background. That is Nancy Guthrie's home. But I'm actually doing this from Los Angeles. Hey, it's just me, Shell. Sent one gifted membership, and who got it? Oh, Tracy's Unicorn Universe. I haven't even seen you before, Tracy. Well, congratulations. You were just gifted a free membership from It's Just Me, Chell. And you can choose to renew that in a month and become a paid member, or you can choose to just say, no, I don't need it. Augustine, welcome in. Haven't seen you. Said hello. You have gifted several, Kathy. Yeah, and some lady came in a couple days ago before you got here and gifted like 5. And then our friend in Indiana, her husband came in and gifted one. And the funniest thing happened. There were 69 people in the chat, and he gifted one, and it went to himself. And that was Roger Forever 777. And I was like, how did you do that? How did that happen? There were 69 people, and you gifted yourself. It's just me, Shell says, please do renew it and enjoy your first month. Thank you. Cousin Brenda, she was my only level 2. And she said, you don't have a level 3. And I'm like, well, they wouldn't allow it when I just got on the air, but let me go check that out. And I did eventually add a level 3, and she somehow upgraded to it, but I have no idea how she did it. Yeah, thank you, Chell. Wow. So now you guys that have the little stars by your name, and the colors do change. Like you have the first month, and then the second month, and then I think in 6 months it changes again, and then the next tier is like a year. Like those little stars will change colors as time goes on. That's why Kathy has a different color than It's Just Me, Chell, or Shell. I keep thinking of Chell Williams. That's why hers is more like a teal and yours is more like a blue. But the longer you are members, if you choose to be, and you don't have to be, those little star badges or icons will change colors. I hope they find who did this and justice for Nancy. I say it almost every video. Hashtag justice for Nancy. And let me reiterate, if you haven't already heard this 1,000 times on my channel, everybody here is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. And, I am positive, or hopeful. I should say I'm hopeful that there will be an arrest on this case. And I've thought about that. Like, okay, when that happens, depending on what they're able to publicly state, because remember, they don't want to screw themselves in trial by saying too much when they arrest somebody. So we'll probably get very little information when the first arrest goes down. I'm going to have to be very careful what I say here, because I still have certain people in mind, and there could be more arrests coming, and there can be a trial coming that'll get dragged out and dragged out. So until someone is actually prosecuted, I'm still going to have to choose my words on here wisely. So please understand. Exactly. Hashtag justice for Nancy and Savannah. And you know what? You still can't convince me. And I don't want to believe it, because if it was true, I would cry on the air. You cannot convince me that Savannah Guthrie went ringy-dingy-dingy to Mark Kelly and told him to get his butt out of bed on a Saturday morning and drive out to her mother's house and rip off the very fresh, beautiful yellow roses that had just been delivered. I just can't believe that. And the fact that the tracker that was planted in the roses ended up in the same parking lot of a hotel where a function was happening that Gabby Giffords happened to be at, you cannot convince me that Savannah was behind that. Just saying. Okay, I'm getting a flash on my screen. It says goal ends in 3 minutes and 43 seconds. But wow, we got I got $1.23 in Jules today. I got $4 in super chats, not including the fees that they will charge. And I have 2 new members and a gifted membership. So wow, that adds 3 more members today. Not unless the HOA threw a fit because of complaints. I just don't want that to be true. There's nothing wrong with having the Garden of Hope. That's all we have. Oh, and you just said that before I read that, Callie Girl on Fire. You're thinking just like me. Hashtag hope for Nancy. It's just me, Shell. Hashtag justice for Nancy. Prayers. Thank you, Callie Girl on Fire, for throwing up the yellow hearts and the yellow ribbons and the yellow flowers. And for the new members, don't forget you are entitled now to use the 9 custom emojis, and there will be one more, at least one more, because they told me last night if I got one more member, I could add another one. So tonight I will add number 10. But first, I got to put my DoorDash card that I got today. I got to put that in my phone, and I got to order something because there's not enough groceries here. I mean, I guess I could make eggs and waffles, but that would be about it. Exactly, Don. It sure takes a sick person or persons to do this. Well, money talks. Money makes people do weird things. Suzanne, thank you for the star. Me either, but all the complaints should have put pressure on them, including the arrest. Respect importance. There's the bunny, the detective. That's Amelia Kinsley Bunny. There's April Davis PI, and there's little Kelsa Kitty. And I can hear the bunny. She's eating hay right now. That bunny, I can't even imagine how much money I've spent in hay. And that's good because she'll live a long time because bunnies can't burp or do the other. And they have to constantly eat hay, have very small pellets and a little bit of veggies on the side, very particular types of vegetables, which I spent a lot of money on. But boy, does she just suck down the hay and go through the rabbit litter. um, Hello, Kawuki Hassan. Where are you coming in from? Am I going to eat the bunny? You know what? You're out of here. Goodbye. That's uncalled for. Oh, wow. Dawn says, I have a bunny too, April. She's a white Vienna. I don't even know what that is, with blue eyes. Oh, how gorgeous. Is she a big bunny or a little bunny? You're from Uganda. Wow. We've had Ireland in here today. Well, hopefully they do know something more. Star says, I just don't understand how nobody knows nothing about Mrs. Nancy. Um, I hope that they know more than what they're saying. This is the one time that I agree with Jennifer Coffendorfer because I don't usually agree with her and what she says. But she's like, why aren't they putting out more unless they already know something? Um, Psychic Writer was born on a rabbit farm. Oh, I'd love it. Of course, you don't have to donate. You just watch the videos, helps me out. Make sure you're subscribed and you're giving the video a thumbs up. You can even send the red hearts or the smiley faces across the screen, Elijah. Um, oh, wow. Don says, think of an albino rabbit with blue eyes. Beautiful. The bunny is part of the channel. It's just me, Shell. I keep saying Shell because of Chell Williams, but Shell. It's just me, Shell. I was born on Easter and I love bunnies. I was supposed to be born on Good Friday and I came 4 days early. I'm here, Elijah. Make sure you watch the beginning of this. I had to make a few corrections in the beginning. Please be very careful of any of these Nancy Guthrie Facebook pages. Most of them are highly inaccurate. Yeah, I was going to ask you to do that, Dawn. Please do. And I still don't have my sticker situation straightened out. I do know that the company that I actually ordered from, they have sent my stickers, but they're coming from Miami, and I'm in Los Angeles. So it may be, and then yesterday was a mail holiday, which will further delay things. But once I have them, I will show them to everybody, and I'm going to put them up on my whatnot because that'll be the cheapest way for you guys to order them and the cheapest postage because whatnot has that 78-cent envelope for stickers. Make sure if you're not signed up for whatnot that you start signing up and you'll get your $15 to spend. But I don't have the stickers yet. And I'm still trying to straighten out the refunds with the other company. I think the other company that said if I send the order back, that they're going to give me my second refund. I still haven't seen the first. I never ordered any stickers from the second company. You have to approve the artwork. I denied both and said cancel, and they said okay. And then all of a sudden, I see a double charge on my credit card. So it's a scam, and they know that I'm going to turn them into the bank. I've had them all my life, and I'm 61. Lost my last one, a New Zealand white. He was 12. The bunny I had that lived the longest was 11. He was the one that got the cancer from the wrong letter, I think. Can't prove it, but that's what I think happened. And the one that I had the shortest was only a year. It was right after I was healing from cancer. In fact, I have a picture. I'll have to show it to you guys someday. It's just too upsetting. And I'm sitting on my sofa. I can't remember if I'm wearing a hat or not because my hair was just starting to grow back from chemo. And I was trying to remember had I finished my radiation or not, but I was a mess. And my hair is just like, it comes back all frizzy and weird and, kind of look like a guy because it was like someone had shaved my head, but all my hair had fallen out and it was growing back. And I'm sitting on the sofa and he's sleeping across my neck. And it was just like, that was so healing. But his time with us on this planet was very short. Hey, Vinny, where are you coming in from? I did have cancer, Vinny. I am a cancer survivor and I'm still dealing with the hideous side effects from the treatment. But I am a cancer survivor, Vinny. In fact, if you want to read about it, go to my channel page and go to my links and you'll see the GoFundMe. It's still up because I'm still actively seeing doctors and dealing with side effects. And I've had a lot of heart surgeries because of it. I know, Psychic Writer. Yeah, the cedar shavings, they're 100% toxic. Yeah, it should be taken off the market. Your dad died. So did mine. It's just me, Shell. My dad and 3 of my grandparents. But as far as I know, there's not one case of breast cancer in my family. But mine was hormonally induced because I'm a girl. And there's nothing I can do to change that because that's, I was born a girl. I'm not a girly girl, but I'm a girl. And I like, pretty things and makeup and painted nails and, I date boys, but I've been cursed in this life. And it's not just me, it's 1 out of 8 people. But, I'm left-handed. I'm a redhead. I'm 1% of the world. I'm a lefty. You know, I'm the 1 in 8 that gets breast cancer. I'm the 35% that gets the heart side effects from the treatment. You know, you are a daughter of a breast cancer survivor. See, that makes me feel good whenever I hear about the survivors. Oh, thank you, Vinny. I am in Los Angeles, Vinny. No, I don't block anybody. I just put you in timeout because I enjoy your clicks. Hard to please guy. Time out. Oh, it says I deleted you. I wasn't trying to delete you. Okay, I'll try that again. Hard to please guy. You come in here and you harass everybody all the time. But I put you in a timeout because every time you come in, that's a view. And you're helping my views go up. So you are timed out for 86,000 seconds, which is equal to 24 hours. I'm in Los Angeles, California. You're in North Carolina. Welcome in. I haven't seen my cousin in a while. I know she's very busy, but she's in South Carolina. I bet where she lives is really beautiful, but I wouldn't be able to do the heat and the humidity. And it's funny, I saw another video yesterday from Perez Hilton. Never met him personally, but we have done some videos together in the past. And he's decided to move his family to Miami. Now he said he had already moved there, but then he's still putting videos up where it shows him and the family in Las Vegas. And I'm very happy for him. And I just kind of, tongue in cheek said, make sure when you get there that you seal all your doors, your windows, your plumbing, not just under your sinks, but every plumbing pipe in your house. And just in case, buy a large broom or buy a broom with a long handle. I hope he knows what that means. But I adore him and his children. Thank you, Soulflower, for the flow state. It's just me, Shell. You might want to go out and come back in. It's probably a YouTube issue. You're in Scotland, Lizzie? My friend here in Scotland had stage 4. She came through the mill just like you, but now she's amazing back at work part time in a garage and doing great. Oh, that's fantastic. Oh, it's just me, Shell says, be right back. Thank you. It was awarded to me by one of the neighborhood groups, and it turned out it was somebody in, pretty high up in the entertainment industry. And I went to her house in the Hollywood Hills and picked it up. But some weirdos come in here and accuse me of very bad things, thinking I'm connected to Disney. Now, I have done a lot of gigs for Disney. I've worked on a crap ton of television shows for Disney. I've also worked on their lot, but I'm not a Disney employer or employee. But, I have no problems. I don't think I'm making any kind of bad political statements by wearing this hat. I'm just happy that somebody gifted it to me and you guys kind of enjoy it. Instead of me wearing my old ratty rally roots hat that I've had since chemo. That's really a cool hat and it's my most comfortable hat. But you guys like me to change it up. You know what I need? I need a Dodgers hat, a new one. I don't have any current Dodgers hat. Um, you're in Southwest Scotland. Oh wow. I have a little bit of Scottish blood in me. Nina, yes, she is in a garage underground bunker. I believe Sims Jr. is the perp. You mean Nancy? Says Nina McCutcheon. I haven't seen you before, Nina. That's interesting. I don't know who Sims Jr. is. Thank you, Respect Importance, for showing the chat the custom membership emojis. Oh, this time I can see the U in the YouTube. Couldn't see it before, but now I can see it. The detective, the bunny, the cat, the happy face, the YouTube, the movie camera, the baseball, the palm tree, and one for 4th of July. And you guys, after tonight, you should be able to see one that's early Halloween. Just saying, once I'm able to add it. Are the Guthries related to Arlo Guthrie? No. But thank you for asking, Daniel. But Cameron, who's a fighter pilot, he's still in the military, but he no longer is flying as a fighter pilot. They always have like nicknames for pilots, and his is Arlo because of Arlo Guthrie, but they're not related to Arlo Guthrie. And I'm positive about that. Oh, it's me, Shell again, using I love that to see those custom emojis. See, the more members that I get that are paid members, the more emojis that are custom that I can add to the channel for you guys to use. Ah, Dawn, thank you. On a mission to find April a Dodgers hat noted. Thank you. Okay, Nina says, John Sims created bunkers in Tucson. Sims Jr. is his son. He fits perp. I'll have to look into that. Arlo Guthrie, a singer. I think a folk singer from kind of before my time. And so just because Cameron's last name is Guthrie, as a pilot, they have Arlo or something across his helmet, but no, they're not related to the singer Arlo Guthrie. Yeah, most younger people would have never heard of him. I've heard of him because there was a famous song back in the day about Alice's restaurant. And there used to be an Alice's restaurant out in Malibu on the Malibu Pier. And I don't know if the restaurant on the Malibu Pier that's not there anymore is connected to the song. I think that's somebody from like my parents' generation. Yes, we have a hat sports store here. You can even personalize it too. I have a mission and a duty now, and it's just Michelle. Anything Dodgers. And the looser fit, the better. Like this Disney one, it's kind of stiff. Where my Rally Roots hat is so old and it's like, breaking in a pair of shoes. When you first put on a new pair of shoes, they're all stiff. You got to break them in. You know, I like the softer ones. Oh, well, I know what he meant though. The city of New Orleans. Yes, that is a famous Arlo Guthrie song. Thank you for bringing that up. I can hear it now. I used to go to New Orleans as a child because we lived a few hours from there. So, yeah, the city of New Orleans. Oh, now I can't, I'll never be able to get that out of my head. Dang it, now that song is going to play through my mind all night. I don't think he meant it in a mean way because the night that I heard that she was missing and there was no word about a kidnapping or a crime at that time, just that she was missing. That's all they said on Sunday night, February 1st, that the 84-year-old mom of Savannah Guthrie was missing. There was no implication of a crime, a death, a kidnapping, an abduction at that time in the press yet. And the first thing I said as a Hollywood PI, knowing that celebrities and their families are targeted every single day of their lives, I was like, oh my God. I was in bed and I'm screaming out in my head, like, oh my God, the 84-year-old mother of Savannah Guthrie's been kidnapped. And there was no indication at that time publicly. But that's the first thing that I thought of. And Cameron, he's a military guy. He's smart. He's not stupid. That's the first thing that popped into his mind. And he said that to his sister. And she cried and said, oh, do you think it's me? Because she was thinking that too. Is it because of me? And he said, yes, yes, sweetie. But it still probably leans towards that in one form or another. Because why not target an 84-year-old woman whose daughter is very wealthy celebrity? As sad and as sick as that is. So I don't take it that he was being mean. You are from Southern Illinois. My whole family, except for me, is from Illinois. Everybody. Well, except for my nieces and my nephew. So I don't find fault at Cameron. I think that's been sort of misreported as to how that was said and when it was said and why it was said. I mean, he didn't call Savannah on the phone and say, "Hey, darn you, Savannah, our mother's now been kidnapped because of you." It wasn't like that. She asked him a question and he answered it. And no matter if it's the Savannah factor or it could be someone close to her who needed money, those two things could interlap. It could be not just the Savannah factor and someone close to her. It could be both instead of one or the other. But what it isn't, in my humble opinion, and I've been a PI for 42 years, it's not a burglary, it's not a robbery, it's not a home invasion robbery, it's not a follow home robbery. It's not, and so many people have talked about this. It's not that somebody was trying to get to the house of the gym guy next door during the week of the gym show and they accidentally hit the wrong house, because if they had, they would have gotten the heck out of Dodge. And typically, a kidnapper does not stay in the house for a minimum of 41 minutes. Now, that then leads to the wrench attack theory that somebody was in there trying to get her to get on the computer and get to her passwords. But I don't I don't go with that theory either. I'm not ruling it out, just like I'm not ruling out the Mexico theory either. But I'm not high on the Mexico theory. I'm not high on the wrench attack theory, wrench attack by proxy. I'm more high on that it's the Savannah Guthrie factor. And I'm sorry, but that's just the chances that you take when you become a famous person. Things just happen. And it's not her fault in any way. It's not your fault, Savannah. No matter how this turns out, it's not your fault. And your mother wouldn't blame you either. Now, should she have had more security at that house? Absolutely. But we don't know what security she did or didn't have at the house. But somebody who did this has intimate knowledge of the neighborhood, the streets, how to navigate that neighborhood, the property, the alarms, the doors, the exits, the fence, the back gate. Somebody had intimate knowledge. That's why I don't think this is just a lone wolf or some random strangers that were like, hey, maybe it was somebody who saw her on the Today Show in November and they started planning this. But even if they did, they still wouldn't know the cameras on the side of the house, the back of the house. Somebody didn't know about the roof camera, or just left it there intentionally. But did they not know that she didn't have an alarm system, or she did? Did they not know she didn't have a medical panic button or an alert button? Did they know that her caregivers, who were Annie and Tommaso, didn't have cameras in that house that could be remotely viewed from their cell phones or from a monitor in their residence? Somebody had intimate knowledge. So, you know, I have a hard time believing the random lone wolf theory. But yet the FBI agent I consulted with, who did not know a lot about this particular case, said, well, April, sometimes people just get lucky. And he's leaning on the one person theory. I won't believe it. If they just arrest one person and they lock that person up for life and say that was just one person, I still won't believe it. Because I know of at least two that are involved in this. One of the two, which may or may not be front porch guy. And if it turns out that that's not front porch guy, then we have three people involved. Because there's the getaway driver, there's front porch guy. And if the one that I've got my eye on isn't front porch guy, then he's number three. And you need to look at those ransoms, the ransom notes, a lot more careful. Because they may not be fake, they may not be red herrings. Innocent until proven guilty. Absolutely, Don. It's just a matter of time. Don't worry about it. It's just Michelle. You know what? I love the engagement. So, La 25033, you can come back tomorrow and give me the clicks. Give me the views. Uh, she should have had a whole staff living there, not like they couldn't afford it. A lot of it, though, was her choice, I think. A lot of these people are going, woulda, coulda, shoulda. But, oh, she shouldn't have lived there alone. I don't think she should have either, but she apparently didn't want to go. That's where she lived since 1975. It's hard to move when you get old, and that's where all her memories are with her husband, Charles. It's just Michelle. I do elderly care, so it really bothers me. We don't know, though, what type of care she did or didn't have in that house. But, I agree. I wouldn't have an 84-year-old woman alone in a big house like that out in the middle of the desert. Someone had to have keys to her house. I don't think she would have left the doors unlocked. I originally thought that too, Cheryl, that she wouldn't have left the door unlocked, but then people are saying that she often left the back door unlocked. But she's not here for me to ask her that question. Um, Soulflower. Just watch Crime Crunchies. Someone named, do you mean Zach was linked to vehicle and fled to Jordan? Apparently the emails had international link to Jordan. You know what? I can't be specific about that here. I know who you're talking about, and he has been spoken to by the FBI and the Pima County Sheriffs on more than one occasion. But yes, Zach is allegedly currently in Jordan, and that's all I can say about that at this moment. Uh, Goodbye, Wavy Gravy. Come back and see me tomorrow. Uh, Cheryl, lots of neighbors said they didn't lock their doors. Yeah, that's true. Exactly, psychic writer. One perp makes no sense. What do you tell Nancy? Be right back. I have to go get the car. Exactly. Uh, no, one perp doesn't make sense at all. But we don't know all the facts of this crime yet. We still need to know the who, what, when, where, why, and how. Because we don't know any of that other than she was abducted from her residence. And I would assume it was against her will, considering all the blood that was on the front porch. And I do think she was struck in the face and she was brought to her knees. And she was living at the time that she was taken out of that house. And because she didn't have her hearing aids, I don't think she heard the doorbell ring and she woke up in the middle of the night and came to the front door and let them in. I don't think that at all. I think entry was through the back and exit was through the front. Um, oh, don't even worry about him or her. I don't know who it is. They come every day. And, it adds to my views. My views are really gaining traction. So, I've only ever blocked one person, and that was a woman that was writing to me from, I suspect, from the inside of a mental hospital. And don't ask me how I know that, but I do know that. And that's the only person ever in my 5 years and almost 6 months that I've been on YouTube that I've ever blocked anybody. So, some people get really upset and say, "You blocked me," or "Your one of your old mods blocked me." I'm like, "No, nobody's blocked. You're just, you're timed out, but you're welcome to come back and behave." 3453. Boy, we have a long ways to go to 4,000. See, when it went so quickly from 2,000 to 3,000 subs, I thought that momentum would continue and I could get to 5,000 by Halloween. But I have to say that, and I'm not being negative, but I'm not hopeful for that at this moment. Uh, yes, I agree with that, Dawn. April, I think she felt comfortable in her home at that time. Yes, she did. Didn't think anything of it. I totally agree. And can you imagine how shocked she was when somebody woke her up in her bed? Psychic writer. Zach's been in Jordan since 2019. Maybe, maybe not. And I can't say why I'm saying that to you. Just because somebody says something doesn't mean that it's true. But it may be true. and it may not. And I can't explain to you why. I mean, I could explain to you, but I can't talk about it. Yeah, he's made a lot of public statements. No, they did not find anybody yet. You had surgery, still in the hospital. Please get well, moving on up. Everybody wish moving up. I always say moving on up like the Jefferson song, but moving up. Heal quickly. Hello, July. I still don't know if you're July or July. I could just call you Jai, but then you would sound, I know somebody in Thailand named Jai, but you're Ja-Lai, so I always have trouble with that one. That's true, Dawn. She says that Psychic Writer, have you watched Clutch Them Pearls? He did an interview with him. Yes, he did. And I've seen that interview, Dawn. I've seen that interview multiple times. And there are some red flags in that interview. And I can't tell you here what they are, but there are some red flags. Now, I'm not saying that he's involved in this or that he did this, but there are some red flags that if you knew what I know, it would have thrown you off your chair. But I'm not saying that guy's involved, but I know who you're talking about. And yes, he has claimed publicly that he has been in Jordan since 2019. He also denied knowing anything about Bitcoin, which is kind of funny for someone who has an accounting degree from Dubai. And it was also kind of funny how he said that he didn't know anything about private jets. And he was like, huh? Where? Huh? And he was very fidgety when he seemed to maybe at times being not truthful. Um, there's someone who has the same last name, who went to the same university, who has the same degree as he has, that has been alleged to be his sister, but I don't know if she is his sister, but I have her name and her ID and full rank and serial number, and she is employed by a private jet company. Um, but they may not be related. His last name could be a very common Persian name, Persian Arabic name throughout the Middle East. But there is somebody with his last name who has been potentially reported as a sister who did go to the same school around the same time frame that he did, does have the same degree. Do they look alike? Well, they're both Persian. He's specifically Persian Jordanian, from what I've been told. She is an accountant, to be exact, of a private jet company. And if you do follow him social media wise, he is known to often fly in private jets. But I can't say anything further here. Everybody on my channel is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. If you guys haven't seen that interview, feel free to go over to Clutch Them Pearls and take a look at it. Another interview that's very interesting. There's actually two other interviews that are very interesting, and I can't think of her name. What is her name? Somebody tell me. The reporter, I asked earlier, the reporter in Tucson, she's a young girl. She's a local reporter, but she's done a lot of interviews that have appeared online on the internet. She interviewed Luke Daly and Mary Daly. And those two interviews have some interesting remarks that were unexpected to me. Not saying that the Dalys are involved in this in any way. And Mary Daly denied knowing Nancy Guthrie, but apparently, either saw or met her in Savannah in a possible grocery store 3 or 4 years ago, according to her attorney. You know, who knows? Uh, see my suspect video. A lot of different names have been added since I made that suspect video. It's on my YouTube channel. Click my video tab. I made it a few months ago. This is a soap opera. This is a 3-ring circus. I feel like everybody in Tucson is somehow connected. to every other person in Tucson. Most of these yahoos, in one form or another, connect back to Annie and Tommaso, you know, like, but I'm not saying that they're involved. Um, Psychic Writer says, yes, actually, a few people have. I honestly don't think he had a thing to do with it. Um, it's just me. I missed that. I think the same Dawn, because she was mobile, unlike people are thinking. I've heard Savannah say she could walk to the mailbox without a walker or any assistance. Well, Savannah actually said that some days she couldn't walk at all from the front door to the mailbox because of her bad back. But some days she could. But she had been progressively getting physically worse. But yeah, that is a good interview with Clutches and Pearls. It is very interesting, to say the least. I actually had a few chuckles during that interview, as I did with the interview of Luke and Mary Daly. Uh, 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 it's just me. Shell says, yes, very sad. I care for a 98-year-old. She's a blessed lady for sure. Absolutely love her. Well, bless you for doing so, Shell. Um, well, Psychic Writer, you would think that the FBI would check his passport, but a lot of foreign nationals carry more than one. We've talked about that many times. In fact, everybody's always talking about my Rally Roots hat, and I've always used Brian Roots, and that's just his YouTube name. That's not his legal name. But, guy who's married to a lovely gal in Florida, very successful YouTuber, very successful online reseller, multiple platform kind of guy. Very cute couple. They live in the Tampa area. And, his mother was born in New Zealand. His father was born in Glasgow, and he was born in Durban, South Africa. He carries passports for all three countries. And that New Zealand passport really helped them because they decided to go open a business, a family business in Perth, Australia for a while. And Australia and New Zealand, their passports and the workability and the living ability is interchangeable between those two countries. It's kind of a free pass from New Zealand to Australia or Australia to New Zealand. And people rag on him and say, well, how come you don't just, since you've been married to Allie for so long, why don't you go get your U.S. citizenship instead of just carrying a green card? And he's got one of those permanent ones, apparently, that you don't have to renew because every 10 years now you have to renew them unless you had the permanent one. My ex-boyfriend had a permanent one that was good for life. My Thai family, they have to renew every 10 years. But they are like, why are you embarrassed to be American? And he's a very proud American. But he said as an American, he would have to give up two of his passports, not just one, but two. Because to be a US citizen, you can only carry one other passport from one other country. And Zach, who is supposedly Persian Jordanian, supposedly carrying a Jordanian passport, but he never actually showed the country of his passport. Um, he could, as a Persian Jordanian man, depending on where he was born and depending on where his parents are from, he could be operating under more than one passport. So the passport that he showed online, that may not be the only one. I've investigated cases where people have multiple names and multiple social security numbers. Remember MH370? There was two young Persian Iranian males that were on that plane that were traveling under false passports. And people said, how could somebody do that in a post 9/11 world? But it happened. And the government got on TV, the people investigating that case and investigating those guys who were suspects at first because they snuck onto a plane with fake passports, said it actually happens a lot more than you would think. That there's somebody flying today, I guarantee you, that's flying on a fake passport. So there can, it's not often. It's very hard to do in a post 9/11 world, but it is perfectly legal to be a citizen of more than one country and to carry multiple passports. We talked about that with the Olivia Newton-John ex-boyfriend case who disappeared while on a fishing trip to Mexico. We talked about that. People weren't aware that before he took that trip, he renewed his passport under his original surname, which was Kim, but he went by the name McDermott. That had all changed just before he suddenly vanished and nobody saw him fall off that boat. And several people said they saw him get off the boat. We'll never know. Brianna Whitney. Thank you, Cali Girl on Fire. Please, I'm getting very dehydrated here. If you haven't seen those interviews with Brianna Whitney and Luke Daly and Mary Daly, please watch them. Please also, if you want to check out the interview with Zach with Clutch Them Pearls, it's a nice interview to watch. But don't believe everything that you hear on the internet. But no, we're not accusing Zach at all. In fact, like I said, I got a few chuckles out of the interview. We're talking about Nancy Guthrie. There we go. I have to pick my battles, Cali Girl on Fire. Remember, everybody here is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Okay, I have a rule that says no arguing in the chat. So the person that's arguing with Cali Girl on Fire, not Cali Girl, but the person that's arguing with her is being removed. He was recently on with Daphne and 857. Who was? He got out to walk for them, offered to take a polygraph and give DNA. He said he's willing to do whatever it takes to clear his name. He doesn't act guilty. Oh, we're talking about Zach? He was recently on with Daphne. I know who 857 is, but I don't know who Daphne is. He got out to walk for them. Who are we speaking about? Offered to take a polygraph and give DNA. He said he's willing to do whatever it takes to clear his name. Well, whoever we're talking about, good for him. Were we talking about Zach or are we talking about somebody else? Hello, Brian Ray. Yeah, that's very good, Chell. Don't believe half of what's on YouTube or Facebook. Exactly. Thank you for the gift. Who sent me the gift? I'm a little behind. Oh, you're talking about Zach. Oh, someone sent the marshmallow. Thank you. Thank you, Respect Importance. Now, if by chance they find out that he's somehow connected to this, it could be a difficult situation to get him out of that country. But I'm not saying he's involved. Because he, if he's a citizen of that country, it would be difficult to get him to the United States. Now, remember, the police in the very first weeks of this investigation, they were interested in the gun and they were interested in the holster and they were interested in the backpack. And they went to the gun stores in not just Tucson, but even in the Phoenix area. And they had a list of 20 names. And some of those names got leaked allegedly by a gun store owner in Scottsdale, which is part of Phoenix. And a lot of those names had, let's just say they were of Persian ethnicity. But nothing, they said nothing fruitful came out of serving those notices on the 20 gun stores. She's very good. They had Zach on the panel. Oh, I'll have to see that. Who is it? Daphne and 857? I've heard of 857 Tucson because he used to sit out there with JLR, but I don't know who Daphne is. You can send me that link to my email. I'd love that. We've talked about him quite a few times. Mom of Simona the cat said, April, do you recall the title of your video or live where you discuss passports, citizenships, and explain who Zach was? He's come up many times. You would just have to go to the true crime playlist. And he's also mentioned in my suspect video, but I'm not saying that any of these people are actually suspects in the police department's eyes or the FBI's eyes. Don says, ZJ was definitely sus to me, my opinion. Glad we got some tubers out there that are real and can have things to back up their stories. April is one of them. Yeah, he could have more than one passport. I don't. I just have a United States passport. However, had my father moved to Canada while I was still a minor, and then I obviously would have had to move with my parents, I would have then got my dual citizenship in Canada. And he didn't go up there till I was already an adult, and I was already living back in California, and I already started my career. But I would have loved to have gone up there, like in my teens, and had the ability not only for whatever their so-called green card is, for a permanent resident card, but I would have loved to have had my citizenship. It would have meant so much to me. One of my besties that passed, and I probably talk about her too much on here. She was Canadian as well, and my heart is always close to Canada. But yeah, I just have a U.S. passport. But people can have multiple passports. But even if he does, that doesn't mean that he's involved in this case. Do I like JLR? I've seen some of his videos. I mean, I know about his criminal past, and as a PI, that doesn't thrill me. But people can change. Um, Someone who's a professional claimant or a professional plaintiff, you know, that kind of clouds my view. But I have liked his coverage on this case. But I can't picture being, best friends with him. I've fought my whole career and put my life on the line for justice. Uh, I've never spent time in prison, so I don't typically hang out with convicted criminals. But I don't dislike the guy. Don't know him. Daphne's case files. Oh yeah, if you could send me the link to the video with Zach, I would be happy to go to her channel and see that video. Um, yeah, well, you know what? I'm not a Trump tard either, and we're not going to get political here, but you know, I think what's more important, more than somebody's criminal or civil past, is just their moral character. You know, um, we're not going to have this video go off the rails here, but you know, uh, I'm not a Trump supporter, um, and I don't care if you're Republican, Democrat, Independent, or you don't even vote. I don't care if you come in here and you're, you know, Christian, Muslim, uh, Hindu, Buddhist. Everybody's welcome. I don't care if you're straight, gay, bi, trans. I don't care. You're welcome here. I'm inclusive to everybody. But would I have a friend that's a Trump tard? No, I don't. Um, do I have friends that are convicted felons? No, I don't. I did thousands of cases in the insurance industry. I'm very familiar with professional plaintiffs and professional claimants. I can't condone that. Um, but I'm not going to bash another YouTuber. He's way more popular than I am. He makes a ton of money. I've been doing YouTube for almost 5 years and 6 months, and even though I got monetized at the end of March of this year, I've hardly made a dime on YouTube. I'm actually thousands of dollars in the hole. I'm not good at this at all. He's very good at this. He's very popular. Um, but do I watch him regularly? No, not at all. I don't even have time. Half of these people you guys recommend, I don't even know who they are. Now, I do know who the Juice is, and I support him, and I hope he doesn't get convicted for putting his foot on the pavement. Uh, but yeah, I'm not going to go, have dinner with the guy. Um, let's see. Tracy, welcome in. Where are you coming in from, Tracy? Are you a man, Tracy, or are you a female, Tracy? Hello, I am so grateful you are keeping Nancy's case alive. Thank you. You're welcome. I don't like how he just keeps using her name to get views and money, just my opinion. Well, obviously, that's what he does. He's a professional YouTuber. And there's nothing wrong with that. Brian Enton is making money from this. Brian Enton is more popular than he's ever been, but he does report on other cases too. And his channel's making a ton of money. And he's getting paid from News Nation. He's got a salary as well. He's not paying for these plane tickets to fly from Florida to Arizona and go all over the United States. And, he's employed. It's his living. Zach was live on Alex the other night. Do you mean the Alex that just got arrested? He did everything they asked him to. It was weird. I can't decide about him. He doesn't seem to mind doing whatever he's asked to do. Yeah, I don't have a problem with him at all. You'll get there, honey. No, but that's not my. I am a disabled person on disability, and it would never be my goal to be a professional big YouTuber. Would I like to make more money at it so that it would be easier for me to pay my bills and to survive with a limited disability income? Yeah, I would. This everything helps. Every super chat, every jewel, every membership, every view helps. But I've been doing this for 5 years. I started this channel as a cancer survivor as a way to document my life. That's why if you go to my main channel page and you see all the playlists, you see I have hundreds of videos that have nothing to do with true crime. And hardly anybody watched them because I'm not very good at this. Now, talking about Nancy being a licensed private investigator and being a Hollywood PI and actually working a few cases that involved kidnappings or attempted kidnappings or threat of kidnappings with celebrities, this is right up my alley. So now that I'm actually talking about something that I know, it's bringing more people in and it got me remonetized. Uh, I'm supposed to get my second check tomorrow. Anything I make for this month, I won't see that till at least July 21st. And I'm not really making the money yet from the views. And if you're not making the money from the views, you're just relying on the super chats and the super thanks and the jewels, then I'm not successful at this yet. My channel is going in the right direction, but I'm not gonna put clickbaity titles and clickbaity pictures. And I don't have like a million people watching me. He's got what, half a million? JLR's got like, what is it, like a half a million subs? And that's only a very small portion of people that are watching because there's only a small portion of your subscribers that are actually your total watchers. Most people that watch you are not even subscribed to the channel. Most of the people that are watching me right now that are watching this live, they're not even commenting in the chat and they're not subscribed. There's just a small percentage of you that are actually participating in the chat and your subs. Now, excuse me, but I'm getting very dry. It's very dry in LA today. Thank you. Thank you for putting up with me. The Miss 5, I'm still on the fence with him. Like I said, innocent until proven guilty. Exactly. Uh, Tyrone. Oh boy. Time out. Yes, the Alex that was arrested. Okay. Alex Zabel. Okay. And I can't decide about Zach. There are a couple things that bother me. There's a couple things that bother me too, but I'm not going to say why, but it doesn't mean that he's involved. There's a lot of things that bother me about Annie and Tommaso, and they were her loving caregivers. And Savannah doesn't suspect them at all. And Savannah, she probably knows more about this than any of us know about this. But on the other hand, Savannah is a sweet soul with a good heart, and she could possibly be living in a dream world, but she may not. I can't stand that Annie Guthrie chick. I've never even met her. Doesn't mean she's involved in this. Brian messed up the other day trying to make up delusions about Elaine Woods. You know what? I don't know who that is. I'm sorry. I know who Brian is, but I don't know who Elaine Woods is. That's true, Dawn. Uh, hello, Jane Rice. Uh, thank you for asking everybody to hit the like button. JR makes money off of hype, hysteria, and drama. Yes, he does. And he's allegedly involved in that domestic situation. But has he been charged with anything? No, he hasn't. Has he been arrested for anything? No, he hasn't. Is there an arrest warrant? Apparently not. And that's been settled civilly in a court in Arkansas between those two parties. So we don't even know if those allegations are true. Now, based on his past criminal and civil history, it wouldn't totally surprise me if some of it is true, but I don't know. He's not, I don't watch him very often. I did enjoy his recreation of the crime video. I did see that just because it was in the middle of the night, and I was like, wow, this is really interesting. But I wouldn't, if he had nothing to do with this Nancy Guthrie reporting, would I even know who he is? No, I wouldn't even know who he is. Yes, I don't know how or why he has that many. When I first saw him, I kept hearing this name, JLR. And then I saw this guy on Facebook with a big Trump hat. Now that could be AI, but I was like, who's that a-hole? And then I looked him up and I just started laughing because I was like, oh, look at this. Look at this criminal history and this civil history, all which can be proven. And I'm like, do any of the viewers know any of this? And then the thing with the girlfriend came out and people were like, oh my God, you know. Um, there's some other people that we've mentioned here that if you looked into their backgrounds, you would see past criminal histories. Now, it doesn't make them a bad person. Some people make mistakes, especially people when they're young. Um, like I said, I wouldn't have them buy me dinner. Um, even if he wasn't on YouTube, even if he wasn't a past convicted felon. Um, can you imagine me sitting at a restaurant in Los Angeles, California, with somebody wearing a big red Trump card hat? Like, oh my God, I'd have to get up from the table and walk away. Nanos won't let ICE keep the gangs out. I don't know anything about that. Elena Moore, I think they meant the missing lady from South Carolina. Yeah, I don't know about that case. I've read that. I've heard that she has breast cancer, bilateral breast cancer. I haven't seen the medical records, but that's what her family is saying, that she has breast cancer. And that's just terrible. Trust me, I know. And authorities found a body with her clothing. Don't know if that's her, but just said probably is. Who, this person in South Carolina? 100% is that I 100% don't trust him. I probably wouldn't either, hobble one. Yeah, people that are creators. One of my favorite YouTubers in the whole world, and he claims to be the world's first professional YouTuber, although if you look it up on Google, it doesn't say that, but he always says it, is Corey Williams. And he's the one that has the daughter named Chell and the son named Atlas. And I just adore him and his whole family. But he is a professional YouTuber. Um, he is a creator. He does animation now. He works in video game development. He's just sold one of his channels, character, Silly Crocodile, to a TV network, but it hasn't been officially announced yet. It's apparently going to go into syndication or something. Um, you know, he is a professional entertainer. He has, 4 or 5 channels. Some are a lot less successful than they used to be now that he's married and he's got kids and he's just a dad in Tulsa. A lot of people don't watch his main channels anymore. But, that's what he does for a living. For me, the only thing I've ever done my whole life for a living is being a private investigator. Wanted to be a police officer, wanted to specifically be a narcotics police detective, bad eyes, multiple surgeries in my 50s, still would have never got in because of my disabilities. It's too late now. My whole body is completely broken. I have a bad back. I had stage 3, grade 3 breast cancer. I have heart problems and arrhythmia issues every single day, even as I'm talking to you now, because of the cancer treatment. So they suspect. Uh, but I am not, I am a monetized YouTuber, but I'm not a professional. Today, I've been on for an hour and 37, well, 137 minutes. So that's 2 hours and 17 minutes and 47 seconds. And I have made, let's see, not including the views, which don't account for much during a live video. If I had these views during a recorded video, it would be different. But this is a live. There's not many commercials playing in this live. So $4, assuming there's no Apple fees in that, I have made $2.80, and I have $2.74 worth of jewels. That's $5.54. Now, I did add 3 members during this live, and out of that $4.99, I get around $3.49. So that'll help today because I got 3 members that are paid. So that means not including the views and the royalties that I'll be paid later for, which will be pennies. I have made $16.01 today. I have been on the air for almost 2.5 hours. Okay? I am not a successful YouTuber. If JR or JLR had been on for that amount, he probably would have already had $3,000 in super chats by now because he's a creator. He is entertaining, whether you like him or you hate him. I'm not a big fan of him. Thank you for those. I missed a lot here. Thank you. Just me, Shell sent the star. And you became a member today, too. Immigrate to Scotland, free healthcare. I wish like I said, had my dad moved to Canada when I was a minor, I would have my dual citizenship and I'd probably be living in Vancouver today. Just saying. Uh, I don't know who this Elaine Woods is. Okay. I'm sorry. Uh, yeah, exactly. He's boots on the ground. I don't understand how JLR makes that much money. He stays online for 5 to 8 hours at a time. Yeah, that's his full-time job. Views. He's got, like I said, he's got at least a 500,000 subscribers, but there's a lot more viewers than there are subs. There's a small percentage of my subs that are watching every single video. Most of the people that are watching my videos are not even subscribed, and that's normal on any YouTube channel. I agree, Cali Girl on Fire. Getting old is not for wimps. Yeah, that's great, Silver Bullet. Well, not that she had stage 3 cancer, but she survived. First two, it was 0 due to Scottish Health Service. Free, nothing at all. Thank you, Arrow. Welcome in. He's got a fangirl army. Yeah, I guess so. That is Nancy Guthrie's house in the on the green screen, and then you can kind of see my living room lamp in the background. My ghost lamp. ISO fields. Oh, it's the Queen April mob. Hey, Bill. Boston Bill, my friend. Oh. JLR Investigates. I was in one of his channels and I seen the members or whoever donate $500 every hour, but $2,000 every hour, I seen it. So, oh yeah, and that's not his views. Like I said, to be successful in YouTube, you've got to make the money from the views. The super chats and the jewels and the memberships definitely help. And he's probably getting private donations as well. It's just me, Shell says. I'm glad you are more hopeful than I am, Shell. You'll get more with time as long as you stay how you are. Thank you. Miss Pittsburgh, he pulled 857 in one of his videos and they combined together. 857 started making money too. I watched the channels. It was amazing. Yeah, I heard that they dual broadcasted together. Most YouTubers would have never agreed to something like that. Lady Shore, welcome in. Like and subscribe. It's free and a great channel. Thank you. Yeah, I like that lamp too. But my bunny wants to chew the cord. She has chewed the cord in half twice, and some guy fixed it, so it's been put together with electrical tape. So I never have it on when I'm not home in case it decides to catch fire. I really need a new one because it has, she literally has chewed the cord completely through twice. It's not a touch lamp. Also, the cord from the vacuum cleaner, she never got to that. But the other bunny, the one that didn't live very long, he got to that. And that cord is very sketch. And it's not a good vacuum either, but I need it for the little carpet that the rabbit likes to sit on. Um, and it's on borrowed time as well. See, these are things that if I didn't get cancer, I wouldn't have to talk about, grocery money and how I really need some new Dodger gear and, I'd like to replace the lamp and the vacuum cleaner. And I have a very small apartment, most of which is an old wood floor, but I do have a couple rugs that she likes to sit on. And she's shedding right now, so there's rabbit hair everywhere. Uh, Hello, Panda. I I I saw a little bit of that. JLR was storm chasing. I also saw one segment in the middle of the night where he was at the Stanley Hotel in Colorado, which I found rather interesting. He had a GoFundMe. I have a GoFundMe too, and it was not started by me. It was started by my friend Lisa Schlecht, who lives in Florida. But she's a lifelong friend, and she started that when I finally had to announce to the world that I had the cancer because she wanted to try to keep a roof over my head. And I didn't get a lot of money from it, but I did get, enough that it kind of kept me going. Thank you for the gold coin, Suzanne. How come the news just dropped her story overnight? Says Sunny. Oh, you mean Nancy's? Still being reported on. Something is very shady. April, I don't like this at all, says Lady Short. It's not looking good, in my opinion, for some of family. Also, I'm so curious to know what you know and letter to the FBI. I wish I could tell you what I think, not what I know, but what I think. Now, some things I do know just because I've, been able to put the pieces together. But remember, I'm not investigating this crime, but I am a licensed private investigator who's not working this case, but I'm still using my analytical PI mind to put the pieces together. And I do see certain things that other people might not necessarily see or notice or just overlook it. Um, Galley has human and oppressive heat? Not here. Uh, oh, that's so sweet, Dawn. We got a huge setup for my bunny, bought a harness so we can take her out. Little Blue Kinsley used to have a harness too, and I've got a picture of it online somewhere, and it's the cutest thing you'd ever want to see in your life. But he didn't really want to walk on it. The cat, I can't even, she's the only cat I've ever owned that I can't put a collar on her. She'll just, and she just spazzes out. And I got her when she was still really young, so I tried to get it going right away, but she will have nothing of it. Luckily, she's microchipped. Suzanne sent a gold coin. I saw that. Thank you. Sonny's in Mississippi. I don't know about the Elena Moore case. I'm sorry. I don't know about Chris Elm, but he has a video. He's in Arizona at Nancy's house, or at Nancy's, and has a lot of info no one else has. I don't know who that is. Sonny, oh, in Miami. Why did I say Mississippi? Her story dropped overnight during the Olympics. Oh, great, Dawn. Her name is Snowball. How cute. You're a panda. Okay. Do you ever encounter coyotes? All the time, Hobble One. I live in Los Angeles. Yeah, this is still an international case. I've had people in here today from Ireland. Where else did we have somebody that came in from? We had another country that came in today. Does anybody remember? Besides Scotland? I haven't seen my Aussie or my New Zealand friends today. Oh, Uganda. We had Scotland and the UK. We had Ireland and we had Uganda. And of course, all you lovely people that are here from the US. Oh, wow. Yeah, it's a big story. It's worldwide. That's what they claim. Yep. Oh, yeah, I have had people from the Netherlands. I've had people from Israel. I've had people claiming to be from Iran, or in Iran. Maybe not. Canada, Mexico, Brazil, Italy, Germany, Iceland, England, Scotland, Ireland, Wales, uh, South Africa. I could just go on and on and on. Her story is worldwide. Yes, it is. That's what my international viewers are telling me, especially in New Zealand and Australia. It's really big. And remember, Savannah, she was born in Melbourne, Australia. I would assume she's a dual citizen. Her dad was there on a job. But I think he also did a lot of work in Mexico, which is why they were in Tucson, because that's where he was when he actually passed at 49 from a heart attack, from what I've heard. he was in Sonora, where they're currently looking for a grave for Nancy. I don't think they're going to find it, but revenge against ICE? I don't know. I don't think so. This is financially motivated. I hate to think the worst. Well, we're all thinking the worst, Sonny. It is what it is. But I do hope the case is solved, and I do hope, even though there's less of a chance of finding her now, I hope they do find her, or even if it's just remains. I want Nancy to be brought home. But if she is DEAD, I think from a spiritual standpoint, she has come home. Hey, Joss. I know, Shells. Yep, at this point, very sad thanks to Nanos. Sonny says agreed. Yeah. This is awful. So everybody, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Let me check the subscriber count. Please share the videos, like the videos, share them, get other people with the program here. And please know that I do a lot more than just live videos, that I have hundreds of videos on my channel. I have several hundred that I also deleted when I briefly had and lost monetization back in early 2025. So a lot of my videos, I just went, get rid of them, because I didn't know what I was doing. Now I'm a little better at it now because I got more subscribers and more viewership, and the watch hours are going up, although they don't pay me for views or viewership or watch hours. They pay for, well, how many views the videos get, and then on the side, I get the super chats or the super thanks. Very few people send those. I'm not sure why. The super chats, yeah, but the super thanks, no. The jewels are during the vertical lives, yes. You can't send them when we're not live, but you can hype the video for the first 7 days with free points provided to you by YouTube. And if you're some, rich person somewhere, like our friend Saraf, just kidding, I don't know how much he has, who's constantly throwing things at me, go ahead, go to the links, and you can contribute there as well. As soon as, oh, thank you for the sunshine, Josh. As soon as I receive the new stickers, I will put them up. These are the older stickers that were designed by Alaskan Assassin Adventures. Sometimes you'll see him or his wife, Mrs. Alaska Assassin, come in. But there is a sticker that I designed that he helped me put the finishing touches on, because I wanted to add the rabbit, and he helped me add the rabbit. As soon as I get those will be going up on my Whatnot as well. And for those of you who don't know what that is, it's an online selling platform. And if you go to my link, they'll give you $15 to spend. But only the old stickers are up there now. The new stickers will be put up as soon as I get them. And that's probably the only way I'm going to sell them. Oh, thanks for liking it. I like this one too because, he designed it, and he put LA in the background with the palm trees, and he put the uh, the breast cancer pink ribbon and the little paw print, and it's very cute. Uh, my links are in the channel. If you go to the main channel page and you click the channel description where you see my bio and it tells everybody a little bit about me, just open that, click that, and it'll show you all my links. It'll show you my Whatnot, my eBay. I hardly have any items left in those two stores right now because I'm so busy with the Nancy Guthrie case. But it also has my PayPal, my Venmo, my Cash App, and I still have never closed that GoFundMe. Apparently, the links had expired, and somebody came into one of my chats and said, "Hey, you should, notice that your cancer GoFundMe is not working." So I had to go relink it, and it's a good thing I did because somebody that I don't even know sent me like $1,000, and that came at the best time. And I am still, I'm not treating for the cancer itself, but I am still treating regularly for the side effects, including right now. I'm going through a med change that's kind of scary. Hopefully, I don't end up in the hospital because I can't afford another ambulance ride or another emergency room bill. So, yeah, go check out my links. And thank you to all that sent the jewels today. And thank you to the 3 people that 2 people became members, and then 1 person gifted a membership. So I very much appreciate that. Tonight, I will be able to add the 10th custom emoji. So that should be able to work next time I go live. If you guys that are members come in, you can test that next time I go live. It takes YouTube a few hours to approve any additional custom emojis, but if I put it up tonight, it should be working by tomorrow. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Shell. Oh, you can't find it. What are you trying to find, Psychic Writer? Psychic Writer 60 needs some help here. For the life of me, can't find it, but I'm still looking. It's the principal now. I am one of those people who always says that. That's why I'm still chasing YouTube for that missing $2 super chat because it's the principal. And I won't give up on that. I'll have to write the rep back and say, listen, this is the 3rd time, and they sent me to Google, and Google hasn't responded. Yeah, just, on any of the videos, you should be able to click my avatar, and that'll just bring you to the main channel page. Because some people think I just go live. Or people come in on the replay and they're chatting in the comment section, not realizing that I'm not live, and they're like, "Hey, I'm here. Mama sees it all." Oh, that's a combination. That's some of mine and some ones that are provided by YouTube, because that's me, or that's the kitty, Kelsa kitty. And then you also see YouTube has the emojis, and then there's custom ones. And several of the members have showed them today. Um, but yeah, Ryder needs to find the channel page. So if somebody's watching this now, are you watching on a cell phone or are you watching on a computer? Because you just need to go up to my avatar and click it. Oh, there are the, thank you, Shell, for putting those up. Those are the custom emojis. There will be one more added this evening. Before I do that, I'm going to add my DoorDash card that I got from Poppy's Place. Thank you again, Poppy. And thank you to Barbara, who sent the soap and the new readers. Josh says, touch her picture, and there it is. Several links. Okay, listen to Joss Brossard or Brozard. I keep saying Josh, but it's Joss. Joss Brossard says, touch her picture, and there it is. And it'll take you to the main channel page, and it'll take you to the video tab. Let me just go to my main channel page. Let me close out of the chat here on the desktop. Touch the picture, and it should take you to the home page. And on the home page, it'll say April Davis PI, 3.45K subscribers, 628 videos. Then there's my bio, and then there's my links, and you just click more. It's got my mailing address, which, by the way, will be put in the description of every video. My eBay, my Buy Me a Coffee, my Venmo, my Cash App, my PayPal, my Whatnot, and my GoFundMe. And that Whatnot, if you're not already subscribed or signed up to that online selling platform, you should be, because they'll give you free money to spend. Oh, okay. Psychic Writer says the video the other day was Zach. Thought it was Daphne and 857, but I checked and it was Alex. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not a big supporter of Alex either. Or definitely not a fan of his, but I'll check it out. Yeah, I kind of just mind my own business and stick to my own YouTube channel. I don't have time to. I used to watch a lot of resellers and a lot of treasure hunting videos. I just don't have time anymore. My plate is still very, very full because it's been a full-time job just to keep me alive. That's the best way to be, in my opinion. I just mind my own business. And I will never disparage another YouTuber. And I will never claim or proclaim on my YouTube channel that someone that we've discussed or haven't discussed is involved in this three-ring circus, because they may be one of the characters in the three-ring circus, but we're not going to say here publicly that anybody is guilty. Everybody is innocent until proven guilty. No matter who they are, no matter where they're sitting or who they're talking to live. It's everybody is innocent until proven guilty. And even when someone is arrested, we still can't just jump through the hoops and say, oh, wow, they got him. I mean, it's going to be hopeful when they arrest somebody, because especially they've taken this long to do it. They better have all their ducks in a row when it gets to that point and not make a mistake. But remember, this crime scene has been desecrated before the FBI even got there. So someone with a good defense attorney might be able to fight the evidence. Okay, if you find it, Psychic Writer, you can always send me an email at aprildavispi@gmail.com. And for the person that was asking for how to get to the main channel page, a viewer says just click my picture, which I thought that's what it would be. Just click my picture. Let me go back, put it back on my desktop, and now I'm getting a commercial. Yeah, if you guys are getting the commercials on the replays, please watch them. That's the only way the channel can make money from the views. I could get 1 million views, and unless somebody was watching the commercials, it wouldn't pay me a penny. And some people were very upset when I got monetized, and they're like, I don't want to see the commercials. I don't even know what to say to that. Okay, everybody, I'm going to go load this DoorDash card, and I'm going to order something to eat before I collapse. Thank you. 48 people watching, 78 thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe. Go check out those links if you're interested. And, if something breaks, I'll always come back on the air, but I'm not expecting anything to break over the weekend. Okay, take care, everybody. Good night.